All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today into the Sao Paulo Grand Prix 2024.
This one had just about everything you could ask for in a race weekend.
Yeah, a champion's amazing comeback, a double podium that no one saw coming, and
Yeah, and enough drama
oh yeah,
to last a whole season.
absolutely.
And we got a lot to dig into today. So we're looking at the official race results, a really detailed report, and even some video clips of the most intense moments.
I'm excited to get to those. But let's start with Max Verstappen.
Oh, yeah.
He started the race all the way back in 17th because of that engine penalty he picked up in qualifying.
Oh, yeah. Not exactly where you want to be when you're leading the championship.
Definitely not. But wow, the way he drove to recover from that was amazing.
Like masterclass in overtaking.
And strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't just about speed either, was it?
No, not at all.
No.
He was able to take advantage of every opportunity that came up, and the changing weather conditions that played a huge role.
Yeah.
It seemed like he knew exactly when to push and when to hold back. For example, when the crack started drying out, he was one of the first to switch to intermediates. And that
was key.
gave him a big advantage.
Yeah, his team made the right call there with the tires.
Totally. And, those crucial seconds that he gained in those early laps, that allowed him to jump ahead of drivers who were a little bit hesitant to come in for the tire change. And once he was in clear air,
He was over.
Verstappen was unstoppable.
Yeah, he was on rails.
Yeah, it was like he was on rails, the way he was just slicing through the field.
It was surgical.
Absolutely. And the psychological impact, too. I mean, this was his first win since June.
Oh, wow.
And he finished 19 seconds.
19 seconds.
Ahead of second place.
Wow.
I mean, that's a statement.
You can only imagine how deflated
Oh, yeah.
the rest of the field must have felt.
Especially Lando Norris. He started on pole, and ultimately he lost ground to Verstappen in the championship standings.
I bet he's wishing he had that one back. But before we get to Norris, we have to talk about Alpine's double podium.
Oh, yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Ocon in second, Gasly in third. Nobody predicted that.
No one saw that coming. And it wasn't just luck either. I mean,
Yeah.
What impressed me was their consistency.
Well,
They really stayed out of trouble. They stuck to their strategy, and they were just able to capitalize on all the chaos that was happening around them.
they were executing their plan perfectly. And let's not forget, their car setup and tire management were on point.
Absolutely spot on.
They were able to keep up their pace even when the track conditions were all over the place.
Right, and that double podium, it moved them from 9th to 6th in the constructor standings. That's huge.
Talk about shaking things up.
Yeah.
But we can't ignore all the drama that happened in this race. Where do we even start?
Oh, man. It seems like every single lap had some new twist.
Yeah.
Right from the start, we had Stroll spinning on the formation lap.
Oh, yeah, that led to an aborted start, right?
You did.
Talk about starting on the wrong foot.
Yeah. His race was over before it even began. And then right after that, you have Norris, Russell, Tsunoda, and Lawson all under investigation for a starting procedure infringement.
What a mess.
Yeah, the stewards were busy with that one.
And then came Colapinto's crash.
Oh, man.
That was scary.
It was a big one. It was a relief to see him walk away from it. But that led to a red flag.
Right, which completely changed how the rest of the race played out.
Yeah, it was like hitting the reset button.
Yeah.
And then, as if all that wasn't enough, we had Hülkenberg getting disqualified for getting outside assistance after he went off track.
Wow. It feels like there was a penalty or an incident almost every other lap.
Just about.
I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah.
But what about you at home watching? What was the moment that made your jaw drop?
Yeah, was it Verstappen's overtaking?
Or was it Alpine's surprise success?
Or maybe one of those many, many dramatic incidents.
So many to choose from.
Makes you wonder how the race would have gone if just one of those incidents hadn't happened.
Right.
Would Verstappen still have won? Would Alpine have gotten that double podium?
It's like a chain reaction, right?
Yeah.
One tiny change
Yeah,
and the
like
whole outcome.
That's what makes Formula One so captivating.
It's so true.
It's not just about being the fastest.
It's not just about the car.
No, it's about strategy, adaptability,
And
a
sometimes,
bit of luck.
yeah, sometimes you just got to get lucky.
You do.
Speaking of strategy, let's talk about those pit stops.
No, yeah.
Some drivers nailed it.
Yeah.
Some drivers,
Yeah, so much.
Sao Paulo really highlighted how important timing is.
Oh, it's crucial.
You know?
Remember when Russell and Norris pitted right before the virtual safety car ended?
Oof. Yeah,
That cost them track position.
big time. They gambled on the timing,
They did.
and it didn't pay off.
Didn't pay off. But then you have drivers like Verstappen and the Alpine guys.
Right.
It's like if they had a sixth sense for knowing when to pit,
They did?
their timing was perfect.
Oh.
And we can't forget about the impact of that red flag after Colapinto's crash.
Yeah.
That gave everyone a chance to change tires and regroup.
Yeah, it was a big reset.
It really was. Like, the race was split into two acts.
Before the red flag.
Before and after.
Yeah.
And the drivers who adapted best to those changing circumstances, well, they came out on top.
Yeah, they had to adjust both mentally and physically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not easy to do when you're already pushing yourself to the limit out there.
Definitely not. So let's talk about some individual performances.
Of course.
We've already talked about Verstappen.
Of course.
But what about Ocon and Gasly?
They were fantastic.
They secured that double podium for Alpine.
Yeah, consistent strategic driving.
They were a force to be reckoned with.
They really were. And their teamwork was impressive.
It was. And, you know, we can't overlook Leclerc.
Oh, yeah.
He had some setbacks, but still managed to finish fifth.
Respectable finish, for sure.
He stayed calm and made the best of a tricky situation.
That's the sign of a true competitor. And then there's Hamilton.
Yes, Hamilton.
Had a rough start, but fought his way back into the points.
Never count out a champion. Even on a bad day, he finds a way.
He does. It's a testament to his experience and resilience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So important in this sport to be able to bounce back from adversity.
It is so important.
But let's shift gears for a second and talk about Lando Norris.
Okay.
Started on pole,
Yeah.
but ended up losing ground to Verstappen in the championship.
Right.
What happened there?
Well, like a lot of drivers, he got caught out by the weather and all the incidents. His strategy calls didn't quite work out the way he hoped.
Yeah, and those restarts after the safety cars.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed to struggle with those.
Those restarts are crucial moments.
They are.
You can gain or lose so much.
Big time. And we can't forget about Piastri getting a penalty for that collision with Lawson.
Right.
Which also affected the standings.
Absolutely. These incidents show how one small mistake can have a huge impact on the race.
It's a constant battle to stay focused and avoid making errors.
You said it. So how about George Russell?
Yeah. He seemed to have a hard time finding his rhythm.
He did. He got caught up in the starting procedure investigation. And then there was that pit stop right before the virtual safety car ended.
It just wasn't his day.
It wasn't. But he still managed to get some points.
Yeah, which shows his determination. He never gave up.
Never gave up. Kept fighting until the very end.
That's what we'd like to see. All right, let's talk about Frederick Vesti, the substitute driver for Haas.
Oh, yeah, Vesti.
Yeah.
He had a real baptism by fire in Sao Paulo.
He did. Stepping into a Formula One car mid-season is no easy feat.
Especially not in a race this chaotic.
He had it all. Collisions, penalties, off-track excursions.
Everything you could imagine.
A wild ride for him, but he definitely got some valuable experience.
Yeah, experience that'll help him in his career.
A real trial by fire. So now, I want to turn it over to you, our listener. Imagine you were behind the wheel at Interlagos. How would you handle a race weekend as crazy as this one?
It's easy for us to sit back and analyze, you know,
Right.
from our armchairs. But to be out there in the car, the pressure, the changing conditions, it's a whole different ballgame. Would you play it safe or go for the win and risk it all?
Yeah, it takes incredible mental strength to stay focused with everything going on around you.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the physical demands.
Right.
These drivers are pushing their bodies to the limit, dealing with G-forces, heat exhaustion.
Yeah, a real testament to their skill and athleticism.
It really is.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this wild race, let's recap what we learned.
Okay, so first, Verstappen's performance in Sao Paulo, I mean, that really solidified his spot at the top of the championship.
Yeah.
His ability to adapt to the changing conditions and just take advantage of every opportunity was amazing to watch.
It was. Then there was Alpine's double podium.
Yeah, a huge shakeup in the Constructor Championship.
For sure.
They drove consistently, they had great strategy, and just perfect execution.
They proved they're a team to watch out for.
Absolutely. And of course, all the drama.
Oh, yeah.
They had the aborted start the red flag safety cars,
Yeah.
a disqualification. It was a roller coaster.
Non-stop action from beginning to end.
It was. And that's what makes Formula One so exciting.
It's true. You never know what's going to happen next, and that's what keeps us all coming back for more.
It sure does. So here's a thought-provoking question for you. Could this be a turning point in the championship? Is Verstappen just too far ahead now?
Well, he does have a big lead, but there's still a few races left.
Right.
And as we saw today, anything can happen.
That's the beauty of it.
Unpredictable, exciting, and we're kept guessing until the very last lap. For those of you who want to relive the actions, check out the show notes for links to all the sources and those video clips.
Definitely worth watching.
So we'll say goodbye for now.
Yeah.
Keep those engines revving, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep that passion for Formula One alive.